Our greatest allies have been the Black community. Black and Asian solidarity has a long history.
Not to mention, the Black community is one of the most supportive of marginalized groups that has ever uplifted the Asian community and actually put effort into supporting us. I'm probably gonna piss a lot of Asians off for saying that, but it's literally the truth, and I fucking see it for what it is.
Day the Latino, African American, Asian, and other communities realize that they share the same oppressor is the day we start winning. But the problem is our communities are divided. For Asian Americans and for African Americans, we probably have one of the worst relationships between any community.
Well, I bet you a lot of Asian Americans too don't, in my experience, don't even realize that if it wasn't for the civil rights movement, there would not be 22 million Asian Americans in this country.
Thank you. What I have been trying to teach the Asian community is friends, do you understand that your success, your prosperity, your civil rights that you enjoy right now was paid for with Black blood, right? And the fact that you don't recognize that shows you how much you take this for granted and how much you don't care about the future. Because
yes,
if you understood this, you would be grateful for their sacrifice and understood what they have gone through for you to have rights.
Greetings, my beautiful people. I hope you're well and welcome back to my channel. So Black and Asians, they are not enemies. In fact, we are natural allies. For too long, the system has thrived by dividing us, pitting communities against each other, creating a false narrative that hide a powerful truth. So today, we explore the growing realization, especially among the Asian communities, that Black people have been their biggest allies in the fight for justice. So when you look beyond the surface, we find that something undeniable, that we share a common oppressor, and that the only thing we can dismantle the system that keep us down is through unity. Let's get to see the powerful reactions. Then we come back with a complete analysis about this topic, all right? Let's dive into it.
This is something I feel like a lot of people don't know, even though it's really important, so let's talk about the term Asian American. The term Asian American was originally created in 1968 to bring the Asian community together to support the Black community during the Civil Rights Movement. Calling ourselves Asian American, then, is rooted in aligning ourselves with the Black community and joining their fight against white supremacy. So as we go into Black History Month, I think it's important to remember that and listen to and elevate Black voices.
History of Asian and Black American solidarity. Let's talk about Grace Lee Boggs. Boggs was an author, activist, philosopher, and feminist born in 1915 in Rhode Island. Despite having a PhD, she faced significant barriers in the academic world in the 1940s and joined the far-left Workers' Party to advocate for tenants' rights. Influenced by Karl Marx's works, she joined the Johnson Forest Tendency, who focused on marginalized groups such as women, people of color, and youth, breaking away from the central tenets of the Workers' Party. She married Black activist James Boggs in 1953 and focused on Black Power movement activism together in Detroit. She embraced a philosophy of constant questioning, not just of who we are as individuals, but of how we relate to those in our community and country, to those in other countries, and to the local and global environment. She believed that by working together in small groups that positive social change can happen, not in large revolutions where one group of power simply changes position with another. She founded Detroit Summer, a multicultural, intergenerational youth program, and wrote several books on revolution, evolution, and activism. She died in 2015 at the age of 100. Check back for more.
It's really heartbreaking to me, but it's also really crucial to me to think about how Black and Asian communities have historically, the media has pitted us against each other, but then how historically, if we really look closely, these communities there's always been moments in which we've worked in solidarity with each other, and we've been able to identify larger systemic structures. So that's why I think ethnic studies is so important. It gives us opportunities to identify those systemic powers, right, and factors, so that we can then move forward, so we can identify what's happening now, and then we can envision a world in which we don't let the media pit us against each other.
This couldn't be farther from the truth. In fact, our greatest allies have been the Black community. Black and Asian solidarity has a long history. And that's not to erase the examples from both sides of intolerance, hate, and violence. But at our best, we've long fought alongside each other, such as Frederick Douglass advocating for Chinese and Japanese immigration in 1869, or when Henry Turner and Ida B. Wells spoke out on behalf of Filipino freedom fighters. Malcolm X, Muhammad Ali, Martin Luther King, and many black protesters condemning the violence and war in Vietnam. Japanese Americans fighting alongside the black community to repeal the Emergency Detention Act. The powerful relationship between Yuri Kochiyama and Malcolm X, Grace Lee Boggs and her husband James Boggs, Jesse Jackson, the NAACP for Vincent Chin, and the majority of Asian Americans who support the Black Lives Matter movement.
I want to specifically talk about Asian men and black women solidarity. From not only history to like pop culture, I'm talking about like Janet Jackson, Aaliyah, Gabrielle Union. There was this report that came out maybe like 10 years ago about the intersection between race, desirability, and gender, and like the hierarchy of this. And the ranking was like, you know, like white people on top, and then it went through the other races. And at this perceived bottom of this desirability spectrum was like Asian men and black women. And how there's this, of course, I think pushback when you start to love yourself, when you see like an Asian dating another Asian, or you see like black love. But I think something that gets kind of like the powers that be, people that create this hierarchical structure, they get more upset also when they get the most upset when also the most disenfranchised kind of come together in solidarity. You know, when Janet Jackson showed that like Asian men can be really desirable in the If video, when Aaliyah and Jet Li were like romantic partners in Romeo Must Die. Even in these instances, like there is an interesting oppressive element at play, where for like Romeo Must Die, white execs would not let Aaliyah and Jet Li kiss at the end of the movie, because like both black women and Asian men were not allowed to be seen as desirable. I will remember my meeting with Gabrielle Union's company like for the rest of my life. Like I was a nobody writer, and her company had read my script and they absolutely loved it. And they just brought me in to like tell me to keep going, and that my story was important and that my voice was important. And like Gabrielle Union specifically said, like Asian men and black women need to stick together because people look at us and expect us to like hate ourselves. And I just couldn't fathom that, because it's just like Gabrielle Union is like one of the most beautiful women in the world. But I always think that it's so interesting that the people that started following me first on this app was all black women. Because in the end, like black women are the tastemakers. And then once people see that a black woman likes something, then everyone else will follow suit. So finally now I'm getting like Asian followers, which is very interesting. Because like Asian people are often trying to chase this like model minority myth. They don't understand that the main culture will cut them off whenever they see fit. Whenever you get too much power, whenever you get too much sway, you will be cut at the knees. And it's just so important to support each other in these marginalized communities and not look at the now, like what is happening now. Like look at what happened during the 60s. Look at what happened during so many different wars where there was race and class solidarity. Because like history is what will then like root us and be able to not let us be swayed by their tactics of division. Anyway, stream Janet Jackson, watch Bring It On, and like fuck anyone who tells you that you're not desirable. Because in the end, they want you to hate yourself so much that you do the work for them.
I just wanted to come on here and speak to the Asian community. I'm like crying right now. I'm in my bonnet. Please do not mind me. I just wanted to say I have been seeing the news and seeing what's been going on right now in the Asian community. And I just want to say from the black community as a black woman that I love you guys and I support you in anything that you need right now. We actually understand each other more than I think that we've been taught to understand each other. And for the first time in a long time, we're getting an opportunity to support each other. And you guys are getting an opportunity to use your voice. And I'm so happy for you. And I know it's hard to see it right now with everything that's going on, and you shouldn't be rushed. But I want you to know you're getting a chance to be free.
South Asian and black people deserve so much better. Now relax before you Scandinavian warriors come at me. I'm going to explain to you why. Ultimately, at the end of the day, both groups of individuals suffer at the hands of anti-Blackness. And obviously in South Asian culture, there is a lot of anti-Blackness. And then even within, the black community, they're, dealing with so much anti-Blackness constantly. It's just literally, it's criminal to be black at times. It could cause you your life. Unfortunately, that is the unfortunate society we live in, that being a certain skin tone can cost you your life. Additionally, these are two cultures that people have no problem taking from, right? People have no problem wearing henna. People have no problem with the Scandinavian scarves, which is literally just a dupatta and shalwar kameez and stuff, right? People have no problem going to get their chicken tikka masala, right? People have no problem putting braids in their hair, doing, getting locks in their hair, doing all these different things, taking from these cultures, right? But they want to contribute no value to them. They don't want to, be friends with people from that culture. They don't want to be, be outspoken for individuals for that culture, for the obstacles and the marginalization they may face. They don't want to be allies to these cultures, Meanwhile, growing up, the reason why this whole Scandinavian scarf and like all of this stuff and cultural appropriation and all that stuff is like, becoming another topic is because growing up, y'all used to make fun of us for wearing this stuff. You guys used to make fun of, you guys still do, you make fun of people that use African American vernacular in their everyday lingo and stuff. You guys make fun of people that wore like mehndi, and you guys used to make fun of people that wore shalwar kameez. You guys literally used to say that, Desi girls are like hairy and ugly and this, that, and the third. All of a sudden, same thing with like, the black women and the black men. Like, you guys used to literally, like, I remember people literally used to like say the most vile and derogatory things towards individuals of a darker skin tone. All of a sudden it's cool to do because it's palatable for you. Fuck out of here. Anyway, the reason I want to bring these things up is because I feel that black people and South Asian people, we need to bridge our cultures together, and we need to like create some sort of like unity amongst us, because I do see often that like, even amongst our two like groups of communities, that we tend to not get along. And again, that is like because of like, anti-Blackness within the South Asian community, like, the brown boys and brown girls that be saying the N-word and stuff like that. It's like, chill, bro, you know what I'm saying? And it's like we have more in common with each other than people think, and I feel like people have constantly pitted us against each other as the undesirables, as the people that are like weirdos, or like, the angry people. Like, obviously, like, this is like stereotypical stuff that has no merit or value, right? But this is things that like people have like made us feel throughout growing up in the last, like, I want to say couple of decades or so, and they probably will continue to make us feel this way, right? I guess the reason that I'm making this video is because, I do want to remind you, if you are a black person or if you are a South Asian person, that, you are worthy of like a lot of things that people don't deem us worthy for. You are worthy to be in that corporate environment. You are worthy to be desirable as like the beautiful person. You are worthy to be, palatable in a way where it's like you don't have to prove yourself every 13 seconds. Your hairstyles, your culture, every single thing that you do as a South Asian or as a black person, is valid. And I just want people to understand that y'all slept on us for so long, and it's like they hate us because they ain't us, bro. All right, let me stop being corny. But anyway, if you made it this far into the video, I just want to know, especially if you're South Asian or if you're a black person, how can we kind of bridge this gap amongst both of our communities? Leave maybe a little comment here and there, like, what can the South Asian community do better if you're a black person? And if you're a South Asian person, what could the black community do better, so we can like kind of like come together? And even if you're not any of these communities, if you just want to like support and be an ally, like, leave your 2 cents. I don't mind. Again, like, just make a peaceful and like a smart and like a productive conversation. Do not be mean to each other. Don't rag on each other in the comments. But yeah, I'm trying to like, see something, and like, I don't even think this video is gonna go anywhere. But if you made it this far, love you, gang.
I love being black. In every universe, under any circumstance, I would want to be black. And I don't mean to offend anyone, but we are just superior people. We look better, we're built better, we're smarter, we're stronger. Any you can think of, we are. And they hate us because they are not like us. What other race of people has so many different variations, and every single variation is the shit? We got light people, dark people, brown people, caramel people, yellow people, mixed people, dark people, chocolatey chocolate, blackety black. And every last one of them are the shit. And although we are given a hard time every day of our lives, we fight our way through that shit. And not only do we fight our way through that shit, we can find something funny in it. We are such unserious people about such serious things. I would never not want to be Black. I just would never not want to be Black. It's fucking amazing.
First ever Black and Asian Solidarity Dinner here at Sober Mesa in Oakland is a sold-out event. It's about food, love, and community. It featured a seafood salad, truffled garlic noodles, and pepper pot duck.
The way we cook, we fuse a lot of cultures into our cooking, but if you close your eyes and you ate it, I'm pretty sure people wouldn't know if it's from me or from Chef Nelson. I think that's the beauty of this, our collaboration, right?
Yeah, a lot of our cultures are so intertwined, and it's through food, through the ingredients that have been shipped around throughout the years, different countries. We know that food is the one thing that really brings people together, right? Breaking bread together as different cultures, different types of people, it just showing the love.
I think that's the beauty, is that when we look at this dining room, you can see it for yourself, is that we're not all Asian here. You know, we're all standing together. We're talking about we care and we love each other. And we want to find ways to heal. Yeah. You know, and I think it's a starting point for our youth too, to inspire them to see this is what we want to work towards. This is what positivity looks like.
The struggles of Black people and Asian people may differ in history and norm, but they are rooted in the same soil systems of white supremacy, imperialism, and capitalist exploitation. From the colonization of African and Asian nations, to racist policing in the West, to media stereotypes that dehumanize us both, our pain intersects, and so must our power. It's time we stop seeing each other through the eyes of our oppressors. It's time to reject the model minority myth that was created to divide us. It's time to recognize how often Black voices have risen to support Asian struggles, and how many Asian allies have shown up to protest alongside Black communities. Unity is not just an option, it's a weapon. To our Black brothers and sisters, you have always stood up, even when it wasn't your fight. And to our Asian brothers and sisters, now recognizing this, thank you. Let this be a new chapter of solidarity, one where we show up for each other, not just when it's convenient, but when it's necessary. Because our liberation is bound together. As James Baldwin once said, if they take you in the morning, they'll be coming for us that night. The time to unite is now, not as separate voices, but as in one role, demanding justice, dignity, and freedom for us all. Thank you so much for tuning in to this video. If you found value in what you shared, kindly consider subscribing and turn on notifications so you never miss any update from my videos. Your support really means a lot, and it helps us keep bringing you more insightful content. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.